Hi friends, thanks for joining me today. So in today's video, we're going to be making a really fun card. Here, let me show you what it looks like. So this, I'm calling it a floating panel card, and I'll tell you why. There's like a window sheet under here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean because I don't think it's picking it up. Well, you can kind of see it there. And then the other technique is I'm going to show you how to add some sparkle and shine to our butterfly, right? Isn't this cool? I love this card. So before we get started though, there are a few more days left to take advantage of Stampin' Up's Starter Kit Special. For $99, you can join my team, the Crafty Creators, and you get to choose $125 worth of product. You get free shipping with that. In addition to that, for the month of May, and so May 31st is the last day to take advantage of this special. You also get the 5 ink colors of the ink pads, the cardstock, designer series paper, and the markers. So that's an $82 value in addition to the $125 worth of product that you can choose. So it's a great time to join. And no, you don't have to sell anything like I do. You don't have to do parties. You don't have to do anything like that. But why wouldn't you want to share it with your friends, right? So May 31st is the last day to join. If you're interested, please, there will be a link at the end of the video. And also you'll find it in the description below the video. All right, let's get started. So, okay, let's go through the pieces that we need first. So you'll need a card base that is, I cut this one at 4 1/4 by 11, so it's just the long way. You can do it, you know, the way that I normally do, where it opens this way, but either way works fine. I usually don't do it this way, but I thought, why not? 2 pieces of basic black, which are 4 inches by 5 1/4. 2 pieces of basic white, which are 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Then you'll need 3 strips, and these could be varying colors. I did like opposite colors, or I guess they're called triadic, where there's about 14 colors in between each of these. And but they look kind of cool together. I thought that they look kind of cool, which, you know, it's not something I would normally mix, but we have Melon Mambo, Lemon Lime Twist, and Misty Moonlight. What do you think? They cool? Okay. That, and then you need a window sheet. So we sell these acetate sheets at Stampin' Up, but what I do is I take, in our photopolymer stamps, they come packaged with this lighter type of plastic, right? And then the stamps are on the thicker plastic. So I save the thicker plastic, and sometimes I'll save this too, because you can use this for your shaker cards as well. But I like to use this because it has more stability to it. So this is what we're going to use, and I save those. You know, I take the stamps off, put them on here with the how they coordinate, and then I save those window sheets. I have lots of those window sheets. So that's one, and from this stamp set, Unbounded Love, that's one of the sets that I'll be using. I'm using the Happy Birthday. I love all these sentiments here. There is a coordinating die that goes with this, but we won't be using that today. Spotlight on Nature is another one. This is new in the catalog, and I'll be using the butterfly and this hashtag thingy, whatever you call that. Then from Painted Lavender, I am going to use the leaf die. So I'm going to pull that out. And lastly, for the dies, I am using the Deckled Circles dies. And I think, is it this one? It's like the 7th or 8th one. I think it's this one. Yeah, you know what? There's something. There's white paper on this. I guess I didn't clean this so good. There we go. So I know this is the one that I used. So it's the 8 one if you're counting from the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we'll put that aside. And I'll be needing that. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to cut my strips down So let's get out the cutter. I'm going to cut these down so that they are each 1/2 inch. So we're just cutting the 1 inch by these. By the way, I didn't tell you the size. These are each 1 inch by 5 inches. So we're just going to cut this in half at 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch by 5 inches. And then once it's on the window sheet, it's also going to be trimmed down, because the circle is about 3 3/8 of an inch, I believe, in diameter. And you could use any type of die. You can also use a square or a rectangle. I haven't tried those, but I'm sure they would look just lovely. We'll cut down our Misty Moonlight. Then we're going to adhere this to the window sheet. I think I'll do it in this pattern. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this handy. I still needed to cut down the window sheet, but for right now, I'm going to adhere these to my window sheet, and I will have my silicone craft mat underneath in case anything oozes. Okay, so I'm just gonna line these up here, and you want to have, so you can butt this up right to the top, but I like to leave a little bit of space just in case. So, and then leave a little space in between, probably about a 1/16 of an inch. You don't want to go too wide, but you also don't want to go too narrow. So I think that's about a 1/16 of an inch, right? I don't know. I'm not going to take a ruler and measure it. Okay, and I think I like that color there. All right, so we're going to do that. So you only want to apply a thin line of glue. Let me bring this down here, flip this over, and I'm using my liquid glue. Now, I've never used the seal to do this, but you can certainly try that. And if you're wondering the size of my window sheet, I will tell you in just a minute. I'll just put this one down. The liquid glue does allow you to slide it a little bit, but you don't want to slide it too much because it could ooze. So just do that thin line. All right, let me tell you what the size of this is. This is 4 1/4 by 6 inches. But again, these are the window sheets that came out of the stamp sets, the photopolymer stamp sets, so I think that's what the size of them was. I'm not sure if I had cut this one down already. It looks kind of cut down. So I would think that they're probably like 5 by 7. I believe that's the size of the stamp case. All right, so I'm going to put this second one down. Then I will speed through the video so you're not watching me put these down. So that is done. You want to set this aside and let it dry completely. And when it becomes clear that you don't see any more white, then you know it's completely dry. So we're just going to set this aside for a little bit. Okay, let's close up the glue. And let me do my butterfly. So I'm also using the paper butterfly accents. These come packaged in a package of 8 sheets, and there's 5 different size butterflies on each one. So what I like to do is I will leave the butterfly on here, and then I color it. Either I use my, for this particular one, I did use my Copic markers, and I used V04, V06, and V20 for the coloring, as I don't have blends. And then for the butterfly body, I use my Stampin' Write marker in basic black. All right, so let's do some heat embossing on this. So I've got a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to lay my butterfly here for just a minute. And basically what you want to do is first you want to use your embossing buddy And I just want to make sure I'm doing the right side of the butterfly. I didn't like the way that the other side came out. I did too much with the body. I made it too black, so I like it more narrow. So we're going to use the embossing buddy. Just put a little bit on that. And then you're just going to take your butterfly and you're going to press her into the Versamark. Make sure you get it all nice and inked. Just keep tapping it, flip it over. Then I'm going to add my embossing powder in clear. Just sprinkle it. I see it flying because I have the fan on, so it's like moving around. Sprinkle it generously onto the butterfly. Move that around a little. And if you have tweezers, use the tweezers to pick it up. I'm just going to flip it over just to get parts that I may have missed. Okay, I'm going to put this on my silicone craft mat. And we'll pour the rest of this right back into our jar. Close that up. And let me see, I'm going to hold it down with my take your pick tool. And let me heat up my gun. I'm going to get a pair of tweezers. I have my tweezers, and let's heat this up again. And let's start. I'll bring it up close so you can see the magic. As it melts, it turns clear, and it gives it this really nice shine. And you don't want to hold it there too long because it can damage it. I don't know why it's looking a little blotchy there. I'm going to let that set for a minute. And then I think I will add a little more Versamark to it. And you can do this twice. A little more Versamark to it. I'm going to move the silicone craft sheet though because I don't want to get embossing powder on it. So let's put this here. So I'm going to dip this back into my Versamark. I think there's some parts that didn't get coverage. I might need to re-ink my Versamark pad. All right, I've turned off the fan so that the Versamark doesn't fly all over the place. And then once that's done, I'll turn it back on again. And let's put this back in. Close this. Heat the gun again, although it's pretty hot, so it should be fine, but just to make sure. You can see how it's melting and getting shiny. I'm going to keep it, you know, about 3 or 4 inches away. You don't want to scorch it. I'm going to move this, let it dry for just a sec. See, what happens is it melts to the tweezers. Let's hold it down with the tweezers. I think we got it all. Okay, let that cool off for a second. And there you go. Isn't that pretty? So sparkly and shiny and so three-dimensional. Okay, so let's set this aside. This is definitely cooled off. Move this over here, this here. Okay, let's put this here. All right, so before I put these down, I want to die cut just to save paper, you know. No reason to waste this whole piece of black. So let's bring out our die cutting machine. And I think by now my strips should be dry. Then we'll be able to die cut these as well. Yeah, see how it's clear? You don't see that white anymore, so they should be nice and dry. Let's put this on. You know what, while I'm at it, I'm going to cut probably a few of these just to save some paper. I don't want to keep it too close to the edge. So I think I might be able to get 3 out of here, even though we're only using 1, but why waste it? I didn't think about doing that on the other card. But that's because I used a scrap piece of black to cut this out. Okay, we'll do at least 1 more. I don't know if we can get 3. Nah, we'll just do 1 more. This way I can create another card, not today, but another time. I really like this technique, and you'll have to let me know in the comments what you think about it and if you've seen it before. I had seen it before but never tried it, and I was going to make a different card, but I didn't like the way it turned out. And then this, I actually had one sitting on my desk that somebody had sent me, and I decided to finally try it. And I really like the way it turned out. All right, so let's die cut our stripes. This is just going to fit on here. So you want to make sure that you have that fairly centered. Put your number 3 plate on top and go through. Now I'm going to go through a couple of times just to make sure, because you are cutting through a thick piece of acetate and the layer of cardstock. So I want to make sure that it does cut through. All right, so it did not. And you know why it did not? Last time it's happened too. I need to put my plastic mat on that, not the magic mat. I find it works much better with this. Because the magic mat is a self-healing mat, it tends to dig into it. So this actually works much better. I just want to make sure I have that lined up because it looks like it moved. There we go. All right, this should cut through now. I'll do it twice. Yeah, see, that's much better. That's what you want to hear. I know it sounds crazy. It's like, oh my gosh, it sounds like it's breaking the machine, but it's not. It's all that plastic. 1 more, and then 1 more backwards, and we should be good. Yeah, much better. There we go. Isn't that cool? You can actually save this piece, cut it down, and then use it on another card. Why not, right? All right, let us put this to the side and we can start assembling this card. All right, so I don't need this. I need this. You don't want to lose any pieces. Okay, so I'm going to add liquid glue to the white piece, the white cardstock, and then glue it on top of the black. I'm going to put my mat under here just in case we have some glue in areas that I don't want it. I don't want it on my work surface. It didn't have any glue, so that's good. That is good. All right, let's put this onto our card base. You know, before I do that, let me do a little stamping, okay? Just in case I make a boo-boo, and I probably should have done this before, but I didn't. So I'm just going to line this up where I want it. I've got a little glue on there. So then this way I know where to stamp my happy birthday. So I'm going to use my basic black, Memento black. So I have a new one here. I may have to re-ink it again because sometimes it does settle to the bottom. So let's see if that one's better. Much better. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to put this right down here. Hope that I like it. Okay, that is so much better. All right, so put that away. We can clean this one off. And while I have that out, let's do the inside of the card. And actually what I want to do is put a little bit of this down here. The give it a little something. Just do like a little one back here. Maybe another one going this way. Right? I think that looks kind of cool. Different. You'll have to let me know in the comments if I should have just left it alone. A little late for that, right? Okay, so that's good. Let us do the butterfly on the inside. I'm going to use Melon Mambo for the butterfly. I think I'm going to stamp off. And then we'll stamp it on. Oh, you know what? I think I like it. No, I definitely want to stamp off. Okay, so we're going to stamp off. And we're just going to put her right here in the corner. Okay, so pretty. Just love butterflies. They just make me happy. Okay, let's put this onto the black. I already have my cap off. Put this on the inside. So I'd love to hear your comments. Let me know if you've tried this before, if you've ever seen this technique before. Like I said, I'm not sure what it's called, but I'm calling it the floating circle or something to that effect. Okay, good. I'm going to put this down on the front. as well. Equal spacing, top, bottom, left and right. Whoopsies, that moved a little. Okay. All right, let's put the leaf onto here. I'm just gonna, let me use my thin one. Take off, there's some glue stuck on the tip. Let me make sure it comes out. It does. Okay, so I'm just gonna dot these on here. And again, I will fast forward through this part because you don't need to see me doing this. Okay, let's put this down. Right about here. Should we go this way? Let's go this way. Okay, and then I'll trim off the bottom. And then we'll add our butterfly. Trying to fix her little antennae. Okay, and we'll just add a little bit of glue in the center part. Kind of bend her wings a little, give her a little dimension. Put her right there. Just hold it down for a second. Make sure that sticks. Okay, and then we'll fluff up the wings a little. Probably should have used the bone folder for that. All right, now we're going to add dimensionals on this part. Okay. I'm going to add some of these flat ones, these end pieces, to the end piece. Then I'll fast forward this part. You'll notice that I just added it on the strips and not going this way, because if you put them down going sideways, you'll be able to see it through the front, and this way you can't see that. All right, so let's put this down, and we'll add some embellishments, which I don't really think it needs, but we'll add them. And I have two kinds I'm using. I'm using the sparkle gems, and these are in black, silver, and like a champagne color. So I just want to use the sparkly black one for her head. Even though it's got sparkle, I'll just add a little more sparkle to it. Give her a little more dimension, right? Put that down. And then we'll use our trio, pearl trio. And what colors are these? I think this is Calypso Coral, basic gray maybe, and then like some sort of purpley. I'm not sure. So we'll add one to the top, and then we'll put two down in this corner just to keep it in balance. And the card is done. Okay. There we go. Okay. Stop playing with it. So let me know what you think about it. Do you, will you give this technique a try with that floating circle? I'd love to hear it. And also the butterflies. Now, if you're interested in anything that I showed you today, any of the stamp sets, the dies, the paper cardstock, although we just use regular cardstock, so I'm sure you have something on hand. But if you're interested in any of the stamp sets or the dies that I use, let me know. I'd love to have you shop with me. My website is in the description below the video, and you'll also see it up on the screen. Friends, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day. Enjoy your week. Remember to share this with your friends. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please consider subscribing by hitting that notification bell, and you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Take care. Bye-bye.